Hello, everyone. I'm assuming that this is working because it said I'm live. Welcome to my home. I feel a little bit like Mr. Rogers right now. I should welcome you in with a beautiful song and all of those good things. So just imagine, but we only have an hour. So just imagine that there was this beautiful prelude where I took off my outdoor shoes, put on my house shoes, put on my house sweater, asked you to be my neighbor, all of those good things. And then we're all cozy and wonderful and feeling great. But hello, I'm Seville. For those of you who haven't practiced with me before, I am one of the Portland teachers, and welcome to my house in the Portland area. Big hi and hello to everybody that's joining all around. I'm super excited to be back and teaching and to be back kind of face to face with you. I'm face with you and I'm just missing your faces. But yoga and beer, the name of the game, two things that make us feel good in moderation. So we're not here to overdo the yoga, maybe not overdo the beer. But basically just taking this next hour to do what feels good to you. So if you need to lay on your mat for the next hour, have adult nap time, perfect. I mean, you're at home, you can even climb in your own bed and that's fine. But if you came to have your butt kicked, I'm not doing that for you. Feel free to step it up and kick your own butt. Basically just do what feels good for you in this moment. Give yourself exactly what you need and leave the things that you don't need. So with that, we are going to get started on our backs with our knees bent. Just had to do a quick check on the phone, make sure the audio is good. So with knees bent, we're going to bring the feet further out than the hips, maybe match with distance, maybe not, and allow the knees to knock in on each other. Allow them to kind of support one another. And then let's reach the arms up toward the sky. Give the wrists a couple of rolls, undoing all of that great at-home work that we're doing. Then we're going to reach the hands a little higher up toward the sky. Feel the shoulder blades as they peel off the earth. And it doesn't matter which arm is in front. We're just trying to give ourselves a hug. So depending on how the shoulders are feeling and on how anatomy works, maybe you wrap the hands around and reach for the shoulder blades. Maybe it's further out, but allow the elbows to press down toward the chest. And start to sink into this pose and sink into the breath. Allowing each exhale to deepen and each inhale to lengthen. And with your inhale, can you imagine that you're lengthening the top body? So the belly, the ribs, the chest, they're all expanding. And with the exhale, you're lengthening the back side of the body. You're feeling the back press down into the earth. And start to find this little seesaw, if you will, of breath. And let's reach the hands back up toward the sky, remembering which arm was closer to the chin. We'll give another roll of the wrists. And then again, reach the hands up toward the sky, allowing the shoulders to come off of the earth. And exhale. You find that hug, but with the other arm in front. And typically the second side is always the awkward side. So maybe it feels like you're getting a hug from someone else. That could be nice. Let's sink back into that seesaw of the breath. Inhaling to lengthen the front side of the body. Exhale to lengthen the back side of the body. And as we connect with our breath, let's start to find an intention for our practice tonight. Maybe you already had one in mind, and that's perfect. Start to let that settle. But the intention that I'm offering for our practice is to send love out into the world, to our community, to ourselves. Maybe you can think of one or two people or one or two groups, or again, yourself, that might need a little extra love and support. I'm a big believer of, when we come together and breathe together and send out those positive vibes and that positive love, that it truly does make a difference. And it does reach the people we're sending it to. So take these next couple breaths to allow either that intention or whatever you need for your practice to settle within the breath and within the body. And let's reach the hands back up toward the sky. We're going to reach the hands toward the back of the room, getting nice and long in the top body. Then let's bring the arms to a goalpost shape or a cactus arm shape, allowing the thumbs and the pinkies to rest down on the earth, allowing the shoulders and the elbows to get heavy, softening the base of the neck. And begin to explore that same seesaw of a breath in this different shape. Inhaling to lengthen the front side of the body. Exhale to lengthen the back side of the body. We're going to kind of make a little yoga snow angel, if you will, and just allow the arms to glide alongside the body, unless you're too close to the wall like I am. And your one hand gets stuck on the wall. Just bring the arms alongside the body. Go ahead and bring the feet in line with the hips. And let's bring the right knee in toward the chest, tugging that right knee in. And if the front of the right hip feels a little grippy, you can always bring the knee out to a diagonal. Feel free to move this around and find a space that makes sense for you, that you feel like you can soften into this shape. And if it feels okay in the body, begin to slide the left leg out to straight. You might try that and your low back might be like, nope. You can bring that left foot back on the earth. Then begin to energize that left leg. Begin to press out through the heel, toes pointing up toward the sky, almost as if you're pressing that leg into a baseboard. Feel free to stay here. Or with your next exhale, you're going to press that left foot up toward the sky. Next breath will lower the leg down toward the earth. Yogi's choice on if the leg hovers or if it rests down. Next exhale lifts it up. Inhale to lower. One more time. Exhale up. Inhale to lower. Option to stay there, keeping the leg hovering, or you can rest it down. And maybe with your next exhale, head and shoulders come off of the earth from deep up in the belly. And maybe you reach the fingers forward. You say a happy Wednesday evening to your core. Let's hug the right knee in. We'll rest everything down. And let's hug the left knee in with the right and rock a little side to side, allowing this movement to be a little release for the low back. And we'll come back to the center. Let's hug that left knee in. We'll bring the right foot down onto the earth, keeping a bend in the knee. And our hips are very different creatures. They don't like to do the same thing. So maybe this side feels great. Maybe this side you need to angle out or shift and move around until you find that comfortable softening space. And maybe you slide the right leg out to straight or to some degree, maybe foot's on the ground. Feel free to stay here or begin to energize that right leg. Right heel presses forward, right toes press up toward the sky. Option to stay here. Or with your next exhale, let's press that right foot up toward the sky. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. No rush. Just follow your breath. One more time. This time as we lower the leg down, option to let it hover, option to rest it down. And maybe with your next exhale, head and shoulders lift off of the earth from deep up in the belly. And maybe the hands reach forward. Let's hug the knee in, rest the head down, and actually let's just bring that right knee in to meet the left. We'll rock a little side to side. And then we're going to come up to a comfortable seat. So however that makes sense in your body, maybe you roll to a side and press your way up. Maybe you rock and roll up and down the spine. We'll find our comfortable seat. However that looks, the legs can be crossed, they can be out in front of you. If you have a blanket handy, you can put the blanket underneath your hips. That's actually one of my favorite ways to take this pose. We'll bring hands onto the knees. Either close the eyes or drop the gaze. And reconnect with your breath. Paying attention to how the breath is moving in the body while we're upright, how it feels in this different shape. Inhaling to lengthen the front body. Exhale to lengthen the back body. Making sure you're not over exaggerating or else you're just moving through cat-cow, but finding that happy middle point. And let's inhale the hands up toward the sky. And on our exhale, we're going to twist toward the right. Left hand is going to rest on that right knee. And those back fingers are just going to be a cute little guide for you. Let's try not to lean into them. But on your inhale, think length through the spine. And on your exhale, Think rotating around the hips, dropping the shoulders down, softening the base of the neck. Feel free to stay here. Or you can take that right hand and reach it up and over, finding some side opening. With your next inhale, we'll rise up halfway. Exhale, reach a little further. Inhale, let's reach both hands up toward the sky. And with your exhale, we'll find that cactus of the arms, but instead of the hands, the palms facing forward, we'll rotate them out slightly. And I like to think of this as kind of like a Care Bear stare. If you're not familiar with Care Bears, highly recommend it. But every time we come into this cactus arm, this Care Bear stare, like reconnect with your intention of sending out that love. Inhale, let's reach up to the sky, pull the belly in. We're going to bring the hands down toward the heart as we lift the heart up toward the hands. We're going to lean back, and I'm finding walls, so I'm going to scoot forward a little bit. We're going to lean back, uncross the legs. Toes can stay on the earth as we come to a cute moment of boat pose. Or you can float one foot and then the other, or maybe both. Foot fives all around. And we're going to cross the awkward leg in front. There we go. Maybe that was the same one. I can't remember, but that's okay. Let's reach the hands up to the sky. Exhale to the heart. Inhale, let's reach. Find that length. Exhale, let's twist to the other side. Using that back hand just as a guide. On your inhale, find length. On your exhale, rotate around the waist. And we'll take the left hand and reach it up and over, rooting actively through that left hip. Inhale, come up a little bit. Exhale, let's sink down a little bit. Inhale, we'll reach both hands up to the sky. Exhale, cactus arms, Care Bear stare, whatever works for you. And finding a little crunch action in the core, we'll reach the hands up to the sky and we'll come up and over into table pose. So wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. If this is a lot on the wrists or the knees, feel free to roll mats or get a little extra cushion for anything that might hurt. And let's drop the belly, shine the heart forward with our inhale, coming into cow pose. Exhale, we'll round the spine, coming into cat pose. We're going to flow through this a couple times, so follow your breath. And next time you come into cat pose, let's rise up onto our fingertips, doming the hands, and we're going to sink the heels down toward, sink the hips down toward the heels, but they're not necessarily going to touch. We're just coming to a high child's pose. On your inhale, let's roll forward, plant the hands, drop the belly, coming into cow pose. We're going to tuck the toes and reach the hips up and back, finding downward facing dog. With our next exhale, we'll roll forward to plank, top of a push-up, and hips come up and back, down dog. Next breath brings you back to your cow shape. Exhale, rounds the spine, coming back to that high child's pose. So we're going to flow through that a couple times, following your breath. So inhale, rolling forward, finding cow pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat to high child's pose. One more time, flowing through that. Inhale. And exhale, down dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. Coming back down, finding cow pose. And this time we're going to sink all the way back down to child's pose. Sorry about that. Toes come together, knees come apart. Head is resting on the earth. And if it's not resting on the earth, feel free to create a little pillow with the hands. And if for some reason you and child's pose are not friends tonight, you always have the option to come to a comfortable seat. And wherever you're at, we're going to make our way back to table. Let's tuck the toes, reach the hips up and back, finding downward facing dog. And again, if you and down dog are not friends, table is there for you. And let's bend the knees, look in between the hands, and we'll tiptoe our way to the top of the mat. Feet come forward, hands come back, however that makes sense for you. Finding your forward fold. Put a nice bend in your knees. With your next inhale, we'll glide the fingertips up the shins, finding a strong flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's rise up and reach up. Hands reach up to the sky, and then they come to heart center. Inhale, let's reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise up and reach up. And hands come to the heart. One more time, just like that. We'll add on this time, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees so much that the hands can plant on the earth. We're going to step the right foot way back, staying up on those back toes, making sure you can still see the front toes, making sure the knee is in line with the ankle. We want happy knees. Feel free to stay here, or you can begin to rock back and forth. As Mickey likes to say, it's like the never-ending elliptical. And then we'll stop our rock back and forth. We're going to bring the right hand onto the right thigh and sneak the left hand onto the thigh to meet it. We'll pull the belly in, shine the heart forward. Feel free to stay here, or you can begin to fly the arms back. And we'll reach the hands up toward the sky, finding our crescent pose. Inhale, let's straighten that front leg. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. One more time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. We're going to lean forward, bringing the hands to the heart, finding a nice long line of energy from that back heel all the way to the crown of the head. Feel free to stay here. If this is killing your low back, hands come onto that front thigh. And maybe you start to dip that right elbow down toward the earth. We'll come back to the center, stacking shoulders over hips, hands reach up to the sky. And let's bring the hands down onto the earth. It does not have to be graceful. We'll make our way back to downward facing dog. And from down dog, let's roll forward to plank. And we'll drop our knees down for this first one. Let's shine the heart forward. Use the entire exhale to lower down toward the belly. Untuck the toes. Tops of the feet are planted into the earth. Shrugging the shoulders up, back, and down. And gently pull those hands back. We'll come back down. And make your way back to downward facing dog. Maybe it's through table. Maybe it's through plank. However makes sense in your body. And from down dog, if it makes sense in your body, right foot reaches up and back. And it does not have to be graceful. Right foot comes forward. Finding that low lunge. And then you can start to find that back and forth movement. Let's sneak the right hand on to the right thigh. Left hand meets it. Pull the belly in, shine the heart forward. Option to stay here, or you can begin to fly the hands back, finding that length and that strength in the body. Let's reach the hands up toward the sky. And we'll straighten that front leg, pushing into that front big toe. Exhale, let's bend. 2 more times. Follow your breath. Bending into that front knee. Let's bring the hands to the heart, tipping forward, finding that long line of energy. Feel free to stay here, or hands can come onto that front thigh, or you begin to dip that left elbow down toward the earth. Coming back to the center, hands reach up to the sky as shoulders stack over the hips. Let's bring the hands down onto the earth. This time we'll look forward and step forward, finding our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise up and reach up. And hands come to the heart. Inhale, let's reach the hands forward. We're going to take the right hand and sweep it down and back, down and forward. Left hand down and back, down and forward. Arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, cactus out the arms. Find that Care Bear stare. Find that crunch action to stack the shoulders over the hips. And exhale, let's fold. We're going to reconnect with our breath for just a moment here. Inhale, let's halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And let's rise up, bending in the knees, sinking the hips back. Finding chair. I don't have 14 chairs planned for us, like a certain teacher. But I just have like these 2. It's fine. It's cool. So let's bring the hands to the heart. Feel free to stay here. Or with your next breath, you can dip the left elbow down toward the earth. Inhale, let's come back to the center. Exhale, right elbow comes down. Inhale, back to the center. One more time each side. This time as we rise up, we're going to bring the right knee in with us. You don't necessarily have to stand on one foot. You can always do this with the toes on the earth. If you have a wall next to you, walls are always fair game. We'll bring the hands to the heart. And rotating around the waist, we're going to rotate toward that front leg. We'll come back to the center, and we're going to send the right foot back. Inhale, let's reach the hands up toward the sky. We'll reach the arms forward. Left hand sweeps down and back, down and forward. Inhale, let's reach the hands up. We're going to open up warrior two, facing the right side of the mat. I'm going to flip. So let's inhale, reach up to the sky. And as we exhale, let's make sure those front toes are pointed toward the front of the mat, and the knee is also pointing in the same direction as the toes. You want the hips kind of toward the diagonal. And you're going to actively root through that back leg. Arms come out. Then we're going to have a little sass. We're going to say talk to the hand. So you're pressing out through the hand. And there might be a lot of sensation. This is counteracting everything that we have been doing throughout the day. So sensation is good, pain is not. If pain is happening, come a little less. Staying here for another breath. Can you soften the base of your neck? And let's be super dramatic about it. Go ahead and release the arms. And this next time, let's reach the arms up. Let's straighten that front leg. And exhale, warrior two. Let's turn the front palm up toward the sky and reach it toward the back of the room as that back leg glides along, back hand glides along the back leg. And we'll come back to the center. And we'll bring that front forearm onto the front thigh, pressing up and out of the arm as we find our side angle. Let's press back warrior two. And we'll cartwheel the hands down onto the earth. Does not have to be graceful. Let's make our way back to downward facing dog. So option to flow through the vinyasa. Option to hang out here, to come to cat-cow, to drink beer. But if you're flowing through the vinyasa, let's roll forward to plank, knees up or down, heart shines forward, lowering on down, shrugging the shoulders up, back, and down, opening the heart. Finding your way back to downward facing dog. And it does not have to be graceful again. However you want to make your way forward, finding your forward fold. Let's inhale, find that halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's rise up and reach up. Hands come to the heart. Let's reach the arms forward. Sweep the right arm down and back, down and forward. Left arm down and back, down and forward. Arms reach up and send the heart forward as the arms come apart. Pull the belly in, stack the shoulders, and hands come to the heart. Second and last-ish chair. I'm pretty sure it's the last one. Let's find our way to chair. Hands come to the heart. This time with your next exhale, let's dip that right elbow down. Inhale, come back to the center. And left elbow down. Come back to the center. One more time on each side. This time as we rise up, we'll bring the left knee with us. Again, toes can stay on the earth. Walls can be used. Hands can come to the heart. And rotating from the waist, let's rotate toward that front leg. And we're going to send it on back. Finding our crescent pose. So reach the arms forward. We'll sweep the right arm down and back, down and forward. Let's open up warrior two, facing the left edge of the mat this time. Let's inhale, straighten that front leg. Check in with your front toes as you bend the knee. Make sure it's pointing in that same direction as the front toes. And you're really rooting through that back leg, nice and strong and energized. And let's find our talk to the hands. And if you're unfamiliar with talk to the hand, it was like a big insult in the 90s. 90s kid for life, apparently. Talking about Mr. Rogers, Care Bears, talk to the hand. It's a thing. And let's find all the drama in the world to release the arms. Now let's reach the arms up, straighten that front leg, and exhale, let's bend. Front palm turns up toward the sky, and we'll find our reversed warrior. Let's come back to warrior two, and over to side angle, again, using that front forearm to press up and out of the shoulder. And while you're holding poses, can you start to tune back in to that seesaw of breath? Inhaling to lengthen the front body, exhale to lengthen the back body. Let's press back up, warrior two. And let's cartwheel the hands down onto the earth. And we'll step back, downward facing dog. Again, option to flow through the vinyasa, to come to table and move through cat-cow, for child's pose. Basically 5 breaths to yourself. It's a wonderful, beautiful time to just reconnect and to get ready for what's next. Just kidding, it's not ominous. From down dog, however makes sense in your body, we'll make our way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Holding on to opposite elbows here, tucking the chin. Feel free to bend the knees. We'll release the elbows. And let's rise up and reach up. Hands come to the heart. And arms will reach forward. We'll take the right arm and sweep it down and back, down and forward. Left arm follows, down and back, down and forward. Arms reach up, cactus out the arms. And reach up toward the fingertips. And exhale, let's fold. See, no more chair pose. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We'll bend the knees, plant the hands, step that left foot way back. Feel free to stay here. You can bring the hands up, resting on that front thigh, or you can fly the hands toward the back of the room, finding that long line of energy. Especially in poses like this, it's great to have that balance of breath through the front body as well as breath through the back body. We tend to get a little sassy in these poses. So engaging the low belly, engaging the core makes for a happy back. Wherever you're at, let's reach the hands up toward the sky. Similar to what we've done, let's reach the arms forward. Right hand sweeps down and back, down and forward. And let's open up warrior two again. Inhale, we'll reach up, straighten that front leg. Exhale, warrior two. If you'd like, you can keep with this movement, just reaching up and down. Or if you want to get a little flowy and dancey, front palm turns up toward the sky, and let's reverse. Next breath will bring you upright, and then next breath brings you over to side angle. So following your breath for a couple rotations. Whether you're straightening the leg and reaching up, or if you're dancing through warrior two. And we'll press back up. And we're going to cartwheel the hands, but this time they're going to go inside that front foot. So we're coming to more of an active lizard, if you will. Feel free to stay up on the fingertips. If it works for the hands to plant on the earth, perfect. If none of those work, you can come up onto that front thigh. So with your next breath, we're going to straighten that front leg, round the spine, tuck the chin, coming into kind of a cat shape here. And with your next breath, drop the hips, send the heart forward, coming into a cow lunge. Follow your breath here for a couple rounds. If you have the hands on the front thigh, it's going to look like this, where you're pressing into that front thigh around the spine, and you're sinking the hips down. And wherever you're at, we're going to make our way forward. So if your hands are inside that front foot, let's bring the right hand on the outside of that front foot and we'll step forward, finding our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's rise up and reach up. Hands come to the heart. Inhale, let's reach. Exhale, let's fold. Inhale, halfway lift again. Taking time to savor this pose, to savor the strength, the length of the spine. And exhale, let's fold. Bend the knees, plant the hands. This time we're going to step that right foot way back. Finding that low lunge. Option to stay here. Option to sneak the hands onto that front thigh. Option to fly the hands back. Wherever you're at, you're finding that equal breath between the front and back of the body. I'll reach the hands up toward the sky. Arms reach forward. Left hand sweeps down and back and down and forward. And let's open up warrior two, facing the right side of the mat. Inhale, let's straighten that front leg. Exhale, bend. Front palm turns up toward the sky, and let's dance. So follow your breath as you move through these different shapes. And again, remember, you always have the option to stay here, straighten the leg, and then bend the leg. And we'll meet back in warrior two. Cartwheeling the hands inside of that front foot. Exhale, we'll round the spine, straighten the legs. Inhale, sends the heart forward. Hips drop. Following your breath for a couple rounds. And again, you always have the option to have the hands on that front leg. And let's bring the left hand to the outside of that front foot. However it makes sense in your body, step forward. Maybe it's a couple steps forward. And we're going to bring the feet a little more than hip width apart. We're going to sneak the elbows up onto the thighs. We call this coach pose. Find like all the motivation, all the good things. Go team, go. We're going to keep the right forearm where it's at. And we'll take the left hand and start to reach it up toward the sky. If this is a lot on the shoulder, hand can rest on the waist or the hip. And then maybe you start to straighten that left leg any amount. And we'll come back to the center. Left forearm stays where it's at. And to reach the right hand up toward the sky. And then again, that right leg can straighten any amount. We'll come back to the center. And let's forward fold, straightening the legs, bringing the feet back underneath the hips. And let's start to rise up and reach up. Hands come to the heart. One last round of standing poses, and then we are chilling out hard. So we're going to root through the left foot, and we'll bring the right knee in toward the chest. Again, all this can be done with toes on the earth. Don't really need to balance on one foot today if you don't want to. Then we're going to rotate through the waist toward that front leg. Option to stay here, or you can reach with the left hand to the outer edge of that right thigh. And then you can reach that right hand toward the back of the room, or again, it can stay on the right hip. And maybe you start to straighten that front leg. And we'll bend the knee. We'll come out of that twist, and we're going to send the foot forward, backward. Finding your crescent pose. Arms reach forward. And let's swoop the left arm down and back, down and forward. Arms reach up. And let's cactus out the arms, Care Bear stare, and breathe. Find that crunch action in the core to bring the shoulders above the hips. Hands come to the heart. Let's reach the heart forward. Find that long line of energy. And maybe you start to find a little balance, a little flight. And again, all this can be done with toes on the earth, or you can be non-committal about it and come in and out. Let's bring that knee up and set it down. Inhale, let's reach. Exhale, hands to the heart. We'll root through the right foot, coming up onto the left toes, or bringing the left knee up. Rotating through the waist. Rotating toward that front leg. Feel free to stay here, or you can reach down with the right hand to the outer edge of that left thigh. And maybe the left hand reaches back, or it's on a hip. Maybe you straighten the leg. Maybe you try it and you go, nope. And you come right back. We'll come back to the center. Send the foot back. Coming up onto the toes. Reach the arms forward. And we'll sweep the right hand down and back. Down and forward. Reach the arms up. And exhale. Let's cactus out the arms. Reach the hands up toward the sky. Hands come to the heart. And let's shift the top body forward, finding that long line of energy. Feel free to stay there, or you can start to find some flight. We'll bring that left knee in, and we'll set it down. And now let's reach the arms up toward the sky, hands to the heart. One more just like that. Breath is strong. Let's start to chill out. So we're going to bring feet about match width distance apart, toes angled out. We're going to revisit our coach pose. Depending on how hips are feeling, maybe this is where you hang out, and that's beautiful. Or maybe you start to come down into Malasana Low Squat. And again, you can try this out and be like, nope, and come right back up, and that's fine. So in your Malasana, let's bring the left hand outside that left leg and reach the right arm up toward the sky. If you're doing this in a coach squat, it's similar to what we did before. And we'll come back to the center and over to the other side. And we'll come back to the center. Find length in the spine one more time. And it does not have to be graceful. Whoop. We're going to come right on down, booty down, feet are planted, knees are bent. Let's hold on to the back side of the legs. And with our inhale, we're going to reach the heart up toward the sky. And our exhale, we'll round. And you're doing that guilty pleasure couch melt. Inhale, heart up. Exhale, round. And we're going to round all the way down. Once we're all the way down, let's hug the knees in toward the chest. We'll plant the left foot on the earth. Let's press the right foot up toward the sky, holding on to the backside of the leg. If that's not working, you can always hold on to yoga pants. That's why they're stretchy. But allow the head and shoulders to rest down toward the earth. And let's point and flex that right foot for a couple of breaths. And we'll bend that right knee, hug it in. Let's plant the right foot on the floor. Let's hug that left knee in. And we'll press the left foot up toward the sky, holding on to the backside of the leg or however it makes sense in your body. And we'll point and flex through the leg a couple times. And let's hug the knee in. And we'll bring the feet down on the earth, and let's bring the feet about mat's width distance apart. And we'll bring arms out to that cactus shape if that works in your body. And we'll start to rock the knees, sway the knees side to side. And next time the knees come over to the left, we'll let them rest down toward the earth. They're not going to necessarily touch the earth, and that's okay. And if this is not your favorite version of a supine twist, feel free to change it up and make it your own. Find your favorite version. And we'll come back to the center and over to the other side. And again, we're coming back to the center. And keeping the legs, the feet out wide. Again, we'll bring those knees in toward each other. Reaching the arms up toward the sky. And let's give ourselves another hug. Noticing how maybe the body is softening into this pose a little bit more. Maybe you can wrap the arms a little bit more. The shoulders might be a little more open. Just taking a couple breaths to notice the physical changes of the space that you're in. And let's reach the hands up toward the sky and hugging yourself the other way. And take these next couple breaths to think again about your intention for your practice. Feeling the love and the energy and the peace that you've created within you and around you. And thinking of those who you might be energetically sending that love and peace to. And again, there's nothing wrong with keeping all of that to yourself. We all need self-love and self-peace. And if it feels amazing to stay here for your Shavasana, please do. But if you're wanting something a little different or a little more traditional, just gently, limb by limb, allow yourself to get into that king-size mattress to yourself pose. No matter what shape your body might be in right now, start to let go and to soften, both physically and mentally. And allow yourself to surrender to this space, this peace, this ease. Begin to deepen your breath, inviting movement back into the hands and the feet. Gently turning the head side to side. Rolling to your favorite side. And then gently pressing your way up, coming to a comfortable seat with the hands up, heart center. Thank you for sharing your practice, energy, and spirit tonight. The light within me honors light within each and every one of you. Namaste. And cheers. My two little ones decided to join us for our end. Bye, guys. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight and for all of your support of yoga and beer and for continuing to show up for each of these virtual classes. I know that we're all just so anxious to see you guys in person again and to just enjoy each other IRL in real life. But our classes are always Monday nights, Wednesday nights, and Saturday mornings. So definitely keep checking us out. Keep joining us. We're so happy to have you here. And the donation information for class it's in the comments. It's in the event link. So any love to send our way is so greatly appreciated. And our raffle giveaway is going to be to Deluxe in Albany. And all you have to do is share your practice, share something yoga and beer related, and tag us in it on Instagram or Facebook, and then you're automatically entered in, and we'll do the drawing tomorrow. Information for the Zoom meeting is also in the link, in the comments. And so I hope to see you guys there. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna go through and read all these comments and then I'll hop onto Zoom. Good night.